I'm Heidi Listens, running for Seattle City Council in District 6. I've talked to thousands of people at the doors, and there are certain concerns that keep coming up over and over again.
The biggest issue in District 6 right now is the increased homelessness.
It's a very progressive and compassionate community. We're all trying to do our part to make it a safer place for people, whether you're housed or unhoused.
I'd like the City Council to acknowledge that there are different groups and possibly different approaches are needed for each one. I think addiction is one. I would really like to see adequate treatment for the mentally ill. It's a horror to leave people on the street.
There are families with kids that are displaced and that have been couch surfing or living in their cars. We know there's a whole spectrum of need there.
We need a regional approach to solve homelessness. Seattle can't solve this crisis in a silo. Seattle has 30% of the population, but 70% of the homeless population. We need to engage our regional partners in being a meaningful part of the solution. At the county level, we need more drug treatment on demand. At the state level, we're 49th out of the 50 states on how much we fund mental health. We know we can do better. I keep hearing at the doors that people want to see a prioritization of basic services. That's clean parks and safe neighborhoods. That's transportation infrastructure improvements. That's community centers open on Sundays. And they also want to see more of a prioritization of public safety.
We hear stories about assaults and thefts and break-ins around Ballard, and police response times are too slow because the police want to do a good job, but they're understaffed. And you hear this again and again and again. We don't have enough officers. The demand here is too great. One precinct in the north of Seattle is not enough.
We are looking for our police to be engaged with the community and to espouse values of justice in the community here too.
We need to know that city leaders on the one hand will hold police accountable and have civilian oversight, and on the other hand support the men and women on the front lines in our police department. We need to focus on community policing. We need to focus on recruitment of women and people of color so that our police department reflects the community that we're serving. We need another police precinct in the north end, the ability to retain and recruit police officers, and that'll improve response time. So when you call 911, you know a first responder will be there to serve you.
Seattle needs more affordable housing for service people in restaurants, service people in hospitals. And they are making very low wages, and they have families, and they travel great distances. In Seattle, we're hearing a lot of lip service about building affordable housing.
A lot of people think that the way the city's been handling the need for increased density has been a handout to developers and hasn't really been in the best interests of the general population.
Seniors are really feeling the pinch of their taxes as the housing property values go up in the area, and they're retired and they're getting priced out of being able to kind of live out the rest of their lives in a community where they've invested, you know, many, many decades.
We need more housing opportunities of all shapes and sizes for people of all incomes. We know that if people can live close to where they work, that it improves our air quality, it improves our global warming footprint, it means less time in congested roadways, and more time that people have to spend with their families and loved ones. City leaders need to recognize that seniors, the people who help build Seattle, are being priced out of their homes, and work with the state legislature and King County assessor to provide more tax exemptions for people on fixed incomes. One of the best ways that we can do this is to reinvigorate neighborhood planning. When people in our communities have a say over what that housing looks like, setbacks, tree canopy, we can ensure that the kind of housing that we build is what we're going to be proud of 50 years from now. A lot of people feel that City Hall is out of touch. I'm committed to listening and bringing forward the voices of the people of our community.
Paid for by Heidi Listens for Seattle.